Hi guys, alright, it's happy Friday. Fucking hate Friday, I fucking hate the weekends. So, this morning, just a little bit ago actually, I posted my outline for our full moon ritual, which is on the 20th. So, what's that, 17th is Sunday, which is my little Chico's birthday, and you guys can see his little hat. Yes, he'll wear it. He will, he has to. I bought it for him, so he must wear it, or I'll cry, which he won't care. So, let's see, the 20th would be on the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so it would be on Witchy Wednesday. So we can do that. I did give a brief description of how I do what I do. You guys know how I work. So first, it's hot. First, it's, for me, traditional witchcraft, so I'm going to lay my compass, invite the energies in, and then I'm going to get to work on the fiery wall of protection. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do probably a different candle on just empowerment to overcome different obstacles, since the fiery wall of protection is really, really working well for the individual. I want to take it to the next level and see how it will work for a situation such as sleeping in too late. I mean, just that's a very good situation. That's a problem for a lot of people. Me. So that's what I'm going to do. So, cast my lay my compass, invite the energies in, Baphomet, God, Goddess, Source, be all in with me. I'm going to do the fiery wall of protection. So today I gave out my recipe for the fiery wall of protection. I gave out the ritual with the diagram of what to place, where your enemy candle goes, where your candle goes. Major, like, front and center, enemy candle behind, in front of you, and then beside you candle is your helper, so you get to pick your helper. It's pretty easy, it's really easy. It's really good, it works quick. So the more I do it, the more results I see. It's really, really interesting. Really neat too. So, but yes, that is my idea for the worm moon ritual. So that's a Native American worm moon. I guess during that time period, the worms literally move. Because of, I don't know why, but they do, for some odd reason. So yes, cheers for not knowing why the worms move, because they want to, that's why. So, I am fascinated now with Djinn. I don't know why. I know it's Islamic, and I don't know much about Djinn. So, I'm very curious about I had no clue. Yesterday's Ouija session was insane. I had no idea that you actually had them in vessels. I did not know that they were in vessels. I did not know that obviously I did know. It's common knowledge in the occult world that, different spirits, or Jinn, the Jinns, have categories of, colors, incense, foods. I think it did Jinn. I'm not sure. That was insane. That really was insane. It blew my mind when I woke up to that email. So thank you. Thank you for your feedback. I love it. So now I want a Djinn. So they are very, Islamic. So, they're romanticized. So, as being seductive and sensual. Some of them are pretty nasty, which all faiths, all religions, all spirituality, they have nasty, lower, lesser beings. So, yeah, I'm wanting a Djinn now in the vessel, so I'm not sure. The book that you want to get, if you really want to get into ceremonial magic, let's see, it's called Modern Magic, 11 Lessons in the High Magical Arts by Donald Michael Craig. And I got mine from Bargain Books. look up bargain books. You can get it really cheap. I got mine for like $8. The second one is The Doctrine and Ritual of High Magic by Eliphas Levi. That is one amazing book, and it will tell you everything you need to know. Everything that you need to know. About, well, and then the Seal of Solomon, so the Book of Solomon. It'll tell you how to bind spirits, or daemons, which a demon is a helpful spirit. That's its original Latin terminology, is a helpful spirit. So, I thought that was pretty interesting. We already all knew that, though. So, yes, I want it to Jinn now. I do. I want this, the auction, how you got these at an auction, and I would love to find them. So, alright. Yeah. So there's tons of names. Tons of different names for Djinn. We have Jinn, disambiguation, Genie, disambiguation, Jinn, disambiguation, Djinn, same thing, Genie, same thing, and Magic Lantern, disambiguation. So this article is about the traditional concept for the genies portrayed in popular culture. So, Jinn, which is an Arabic term, Jinn, which I find very fascinating. Also Romanized. Okay, so Romanized in the Roman traditions as Djinn. So, or angelicized as genies, which the more broad meaning of spirits or demons, depending on the source, are supernatural creatures in early pre-Islamic Arabian and later Islamic mythology and theology. Jinn are not a strictly Islamic concept, rather they may represent pagan beliefs integrated into Islam. Oh. So we have the pagan gods and goddesses being integrated into the Islamic religion. Thank you. So, since Jinn are not inevitably evil nor good, Islam was able to adapt spirits from other religions during its expansion. Wow, I did not know that. That's very interesting. So, okay, so besides the Jinn, Islam acknowledges the existence of demons, which would be called in Islam shaitan. So the lines between demons and Jinn are blurred, since malevolent Jinn are also called shaitan. However, both Islamic and non-Islamic scholarship generally distinguishes between angels, Jinn, and demons, shaitan, as three different types of spiritual entities in Islamic tradition. I did not know that it was very, Islamic. So, the Jinn are distinguished from demons by that they can be both evil or good, while genuine demons are necessarily evil. A demon, no. I think they need to redo this with the archetypes from Carl Jung. So, in an Islamic context, the term Jinn is used for both a collective designation for any supernatural creature, so the archetype, and also to refer to a specific type of supernatural creature. So the etymology of Jinn is an Arabic collective noun deriving from the Semitic root Jinn, Arabic Jan, Jan, whose primary meaning is to hide or to conceal. Alright, so now I see why they were in a vessel. I see why they are in a vessel. Alright, so some authors interpret the word to mean literally beings that are concealed from the senses. So cognates include the Arabic Majnun, possessed or generally insane, Jannah, garden, also heaven, and Jannin, embryo. Jinn is properly treated as a plural, with the singular being Genie. So we're really getting into the Aladdin's lamp and all of that stuff, which is very interesting. So if anybody has a Jinn they want to get rid of, I'll take it. Definitely take it. I would love it. So, the origin of the word Jinn remains uncertain, so some scholars relate to the Arabic term Jinn, Jinn, to the Latin genius, as a result of syncretism. Syncretism, yeah. So synchronicities during the reign of the Roman Empire under Tiberius Augustus. But this what the fuck? Derivation, I can't even pronounce anything today. The derivation, whatever, is also disputed. Another suggestion holds that Jinn may be derived from Aramaic Genania, classic Syriac, with the meaning of, what is that? Tutelary deity, or also garden. Other claims a Persian origin of the word in the form of Avestic Johnny, a wicked female spirit. Janie, I'm assuming, were among various creatures in the possibly even pre-Zoroastrian mythology of peoples of Iran. So the Zoroaster, you could get that book too. I would really look into the Islam faith to kind of see what they have to do with the Djinn and how they're, how they're served, how they're, worked with, how the the relationship from person to Djinn works. So I don't know. Very interesting, though. Very interesting. So, the angelicized form, Genie, is a borrowing of the French Genie from the Latin genius, a guardian spirit of people and places in Roman religion. Alright, so there's, we see the three categories of Jinn, or Djinn. A guardian spirit of people and places in Roman religion. So I would actually go towards that if you want to be more safer. I don't want to say safer, but I did. So a more subtle approach, maybe, I don't know. So it first appeared in the 18th century translations of the 1001 Nights from the French, so where it had been used owing to its rough similarity in sound and sense, and further applies to benevolent intermediary spirits, in contrast to the malevolent spirits called demon and heavenly angels in literature. So, in Assyrian art, creatures anatomically between humans and divinities are also called Genie. So we have quite a very vast array. So we have pre-Islamic Arabia, which I am waiting for this to go into Egypt, because I know in Heka there are different, literally there are vessels for the different spirits that house, which are called the Holy of Holies, or I can't remember what it's called, but it's a small cabinet with the deity inside, a small fragment of the deity inside. So I am in my brain, it's here it's like the Key of Solomon, and then the Goetia, and then binding spirits, and going back up, the Hebrew, all of this, just, crazy stuff. So my brain is all over the place with this. So we have pre-Islamic Arabia for the Djinn. The Jinn were worshipped by many Arabs during the pre-Islamic period, but unlike gods, Jinn were not regarded as immortal. Alright, so in ancient Arabia, the term Jinn also applied to all kinds of supernatural entities among various religions and cults. Thus, Zoroastrian, Christian, and Jewish angels and demons were also called Jinn. Alright, so we have just a big lumping of all of these different entities or beings together. So that makes sense. Pre-Islamic. So the exact origin of the belief in Jinn are not entirely clear. Excuse me. Some scholars of the Middle East hold that they originated as malevolent spirits residing in deserts and unclean places. I don't believe that. Who often took the forms of animals. Others hold that they were originally pagan nature deities who gradually became marginalized as other deities took greater importance. Alright, I'm seeing that. That is what I'm seeing, the Jinn in nature. So the reading yesterday, the tarot, not the Ouija, showed more of nature. So nymphs, water spirits, sprites, gnomes. I'm seeing the connection now with traditional witchcraft and Djinn. So that connecting line. So unclean places, that is weird. So according to common Arabian belief, soothsayers, pre-Islamic philosophers, and poets were inspired by the Jinn. However, Jinn were also feared and thought to be responsible for causing various diseases and mental illnesses. Yeah, no. So Julius Wellhausen observed that such spirits were thought to inhabit desolate, dingy, and dark places, and that they were feared. One had to protect oneself from them, but they were not the objects of a true cult. Alright, so now I see where my grandma went into the protection. So calling on the angels first for your protection. Any kind of, Hebrew protection. I mean, even the red string bracelet in Kabbalah. If you're that into it, if you want to actually take the time to study it, devote yourself to it, and understand what the red string means from Rachel's tomb, then I would go ahead and I would actually have a trusted friend tie the red string on my left hand wrist and say the prayer, the blessing prayer in Hebrew. But that's a totally different religion, so I'm not 100% sure. So the Islamic theology. So in the Islamic sense, the term Jinn is used in two different ways. An invisible entity who roamed the earth before Adam, created by God out of a mixture of fire, or smokeless fire. They are believed to resemble humans in that they eat and drink, have children, and die. Okay. And are subject to judgment, so will either be sent to heaven or hell according to their deeds. But they were much faster and stronger than humans. Jinn are also related to heavenly beings, a subcategory of angels, or a tribe of angelic beings. So who is able to sin and create from fire? Okay, so they create from fire. Unlike their light-created counterpart, however, these Jinn must be distinguished from the pre-Adamite Jinn race, who share many characteristics with humans instead of angels. So I'm guessing we are looking at these spirits, or Jinn, would be more like earthbound spirits in a sense. Just kind of rough guesstimate, rough, connection. So that's interesting. So as the opposite of all ins, something in shape, referring to any object that cannot be detected by human sensory organs, including angels, demons, and their interior of human beings. Thus, every demon and every angel is also a Jinn, but not every Jinn is an angel or a demon. Alright, I can understand where that's coming into play. So depending on, these, to me, what I'm like seeing in my head is like subcategories. So there's source, Baphomet, God, Goddess, the All, angels, the order of angels, archangels, lesser angels. We go down the totem pole, lesser, and then right here at the astral plane we would have those Jinn that are not angels. So do we work with them or do we not? I am creating more questions than I am answers, but alright, so belief in Jinn is not included among the 6 articles of Islamic faith. So as belief in angels is, however, at least some Muslims believe it essential to the Islamic faith. Jinn are mentioned approximately 29 times in the Quran, often together with humans. Alright, okay, I would get also the Quran. So here is another book that you might want to read, the Quran, or if you want to read the Hebrew scriptures, which is the Old Testament. So, where did I go? Where did I go? Okay, and the 72 Surah chapter. Okay, named after them, Al-Jinn. They are also mentioned in collections of Shahi, authentic, Hadith. Wow, I don't know these names. One hadith divides them into 3 groups, which one type flying through the air. Alright, the air Djinns, the air spirits. Another that are snakes and dogs. That would probably be, let's see, earth, the earth spirits. And a third that moves from place to place like human. I don't know what that would be. So in Islamic tradition, Muhammad was sent as a prophet to both human and Jinn communities, and that prophets and messengers were sent to both communities. Traditionally, Surah 72 is held to tell about the revelation to Jinn, and several stories mention one of Muhammad's followers accompanying him, witnessing the revelation to the Jinn. So these are actually really helpful spirits that we could work with. I'm not going to yet because I'm not sure. So another Islamic prophet who is related to interactions with Jinn is Solomon. Here we go. This is where I would actually start. So in the Quran, he is said to be a king in ancient Israel and was gifted by God to talk to animals and Jinn. Alright, so I would definitely actually probably get the Quran, honestly. Treat it with respect because it is another holy book. Definitely. So, God granted him authority over the rebellious Jinn, or Marid. Thus, Solomon forced them to build the first temple. Okay, I can see that with Solomon having the power over other spirits, definitely. So, beliefs regarding Solomon and his power over the Jinn were later extended into folklore and folk tales. Alright, so the Quran and the Surah 72. Make sure, we will look that up here in a minute. Those are some books that I think I'm actually interested in too. So, related to common traditions, the angels were created on Wednesday, the Djinn on Thursday, and humans on Friday, but not the very next day, rather more than 1,000 years later. Community of Jinn, the Jinn race, were like those of humans, but then corruption and injustice among them increased, and all warnings sent by God were ignored. Alright, so this is like Lucifer times 1,000. So there's 1,000 different Jinn that are rebelling against God. And then we have one angel, Lucifer, that rebelled against God during his falling. So this is weird. Okay. So consequently, God sent his angels to battle the infidel Jinn. Just a few survived and were ousted to far islands or to the mountains. So with the revelation of Islam, the Jinn were given a new chance to access salvation, but because of their prior creation, the Jinn would attribute themselves to a superiority over humans and envy them for their place and rank on earth. Okay, that does make sense. So, they're jealous of humans, so I can see how they would want to get mischievous and mess with us, just like the Fey one, the Wee folk. Alright, so you can also, the Black King of all the Jinns, Al-Malik, Al-Azwad, from the late 14th century, Book of Wonders. So there's another book reference. In the beginning of Islam, in early Islamic development, the status of Jinn were reduced from that of deities to minor spirits. Alright, so we're going down to assert a strict monotheism and the Islamic concept of Tawhid. All affinities between the Jinn and God were denied. Thus, Jinn were placed parallel to humans. also subject to God's judgment and able to attain paradise or hell. So, however, even though their status as tutelary deities was reduced, they were not consequently regarded as demons. In later revelations, the concept of demons and angels, distinct from the pagan Jinn, were made. Alright, so Tifad stated the Jinn were related to the pagan belief, while the demons and the angels were borrowed from monotheistic concepts of angels and demons. So at least they're getting it right in Islam. They're separating, okay, this is for the pagans, this is what came from the pagans, this is what belongs to the monotheistic religions of Abraham, which was like one or two at this time. So in later revelations, the demons and the Jinn seems to be used interchangeably. So here placing the Jinn with the devil against the angels and Muhammad. I don't get it. I mean, I understand what I'm reading, but just how do we work with them? I mean, what do we do? How do you conjure them? Do you conjure them? Do you make friends with them? Do you... I'm not sure. Is it like working with another spirit? An entity? Or is it like working with nature spirits? The Fae folk? The wee ones? So this is very different. It's kind of difficult. Yeah, it is very difficult for me to wrap my brain around all of this, because it's in so many cultures. Now if I grew up reading about Jinn, I would probably obviously be, you know, working with them. But that's not how I grew up. It was paganism. Alright, so Jinn believed in the later centuries, so, alright, now we have... okay, that's just a picture, not a book. So yes, the Book of Wonders, 14th century. If you can find that. I'm gonna look too. So, alright, when Islam spread outside of Arabia, belief in the Jinn was assimilated with local belief about spirits and deities from Iran, Africa, Turkey, and India. Wow. So we have a Jinn coming in from every four corners of the world here. So, for Persians, for example, identified the Jinn in the Quran with the div from the Zoroastrian lore, developed from various traditions and local folklore, but not mentioned in canonical Islamic scriptures. So, Jinn were thought to be able to possess humans. Great. Morocco especially has many possession traditions, including exorcism rituals. In Sind, the concept of the Genie was introduced during the Abbasid era and has become a part of local folklore, also including stories of both male Jinn called Jinn and female Jinn called Jinri. So folk stories of female Jinn include stories such as the Jejal Jinri, although due to the cultural influence, the concept of Jinn may vary. All share some common features. Okay, that's good. The Jinn are also believed to live in societies resembling these of humans, practicing religion, including Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Oh, wow, so they're actually like people almost. Having emotions, needing to eat and drink, and can procreate and raise families. Wow. Okay, they're invisible, obviously. So there could be like a family of Jinn living under my bed, which I would gladly I froze. I would gladly let them live here. They were good. Alright, so. Alright, okay, yeah, they need to eat and drink. Okay, so, additionally, they fear iron. Okay, so this is like a leprechaun and a fairy type thing. Generally appear in desolate or abandoned places, and are stronger and faster than humans. Maybe this is what people see when they see like a shadow man or what's that name of that guy? Slender Man, or shadow people. Maybe this is what they're saying. They're faster, they're quicker. I don't know. It's really weird. The iron thing, I'm not getting that. I am. Alright, so they're faster and stronger than humans, us. Generally, Jinn are thought to eat bones and prefer rotten flesh over fresh flesh. Oh my god. So the other night, I was just kind of like sitting up here like in shock and frozen because of somebody's voice, and boom, I got the smell of rotten meat. And I have nothing in here that would actually give off that type of odor or anything. There's no possible way. That's different. Okay, they eat bones. Wow. Ooh. Alright. Now, anyways, in later Albanian lore, alright, Jinn live either on Earth or under the surface, and may possess persons who insult them, for, by example, if their children are trodden upon, or hot water was thrown on them. Alright, now this is taking me to midwinter solstice, when the children spirits, they come, and that's why we light the Yule log, to keep them at bay. They are mischievous ones, so those could be Jinn as well. This is interesting. This is very interesting. So the composition, and existence of Jinn is the subject of various debates during the Middle Ages. So according to al-Shafi, founder of Shafi schools, the invisibility of Jinn is so certain that anyone who thinks they have seen one is ineligible to give legal testimony unless they are a prophet. According to Ash'ari, the experience of Jinn cannot be proven, because arguments concerning the existence of Jinn are beyond human comprehension. Okay. Adepts of Ash'ari theology explain Jinn are invisible to humans because they lack the appropriate sense organs to envision them. What about the third eye? Critics argued if Jinn exist, their bodies must either be ethereal or made of solid material, so probably ethereal. If they were composed of the former, they would not be able to do hard work like carrying heavy stones. If they were composed of the latter, the ethereal, they would be invisible to any human with functional eyes. Critics therefore refused to believe in a literal reading on Jinn in Islamic sacred texts, preferring to view them as unruly men. Alright, I can see where that comes into. On the other hand, advocates of belief in Jinn assert that God's creation can exceed the human mind. Alright, that makes perfect sense. So I'm having trouble. Are they ethereal beings, or are they literally like us, made of flesh and blood? That's so strange. Alright, so yes, God's creation does exceed the human mind, thus Jinn are beyond human understanding. That makes sense too. So, since they are mentioned in Islamic texts, scholars such as Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Hazm prohibit the denial of the Jinn. They also refer to spirits and demons among the Christians, Zoroastrians, and Jews to prove their existence. Okay, so Ibn Taymiyyah believed the Jinn to be generally ignorant, untruthful, oppressive, and treacherous. He held that the Jinn account for much of the magic that is perceived by humans, cooperating with magicians to lift items in the air, delivering hidden truths to the fortune tellers, and mimicking voices of deceased humans during seances. They're tricky. She was right. They're very tricky. Alright, so other critics such as Jaiz and Masoudi stated that sightings of Jinn are due to psychological causes. According to Masad Adu, the Jinn, as described by traditional scholars, are not a priori false, but improbable. Jahiz states in his work, Kitab al-Hawaiian, the loneliness induces humans to mind games and wishful thinking, causing waswas, whispering in the mind, traditionally thought to be caused by Satan. Bullshit. If he is afraid, he may see things that are not real. These alleged appearances are told to other generations in bedtime stories and poems, and with their children of the next generation. Growing up with such stories, they are afraid or lonely. They remember these stories, encouraging their imaginations and causing another alleged sighting of Jinn. Wow, this is fascinating. So later, Sufi traditions related the meaning of Jinn back to its origin, something that is concealed from sight. Thus they were related to the hidden realm, including angels from the heavenly realm and Jinn from a sublunary realm. So Ibn Arabi stated, only this much is different. The spirits of the Jinn are lower spirits, while the spirits of angels are heavenly spirits. The Jinn share, due to their intermediary adobe, both angelic and human traits. According to some Sufi teachings, a Jinn is like an empty cup, composed of its own ego and intention, and a reflection of its observer. A thought form. Wow. Alright, because Jinn are closer to the material realm, it would be easier for a human to contact a Jinn than an angel. That's odd. It's very odd. Very neat, too. Very neat. Wow. Now we have in folk literature. Jinn can be found in the 1001 Nights story of the fisherman and the genie. More than 3 different types of Jinn are described in the story of Ma'ruf the cobbler. 2 Jinn helped young Aladdin in the story of Aladdin and the Wonderful Lamp, and Hassan Badr al-Din weeps over the graves of his father until sleep overcomes him, and he is awoken by a large group of sympathetic Jinn in the tale of Ali Nur al-Din and his brother son Badr ad-Din Hassan, whatever. In some stories, Jinn are credited with the ability of instantaneous travel. Oh. Alright, now we have the modern era of Jinn. So, affirmation on the existence of Jinn as sapient creatures living along with humans is still widespread in the Middle Eastern world. And mental illnesses are often attributed to Jinn possession. So, however, some modernist commentators, on the basis of the word's meaning, reinterpreted references to Jinn as microorganisms such as bacteria and viruses, or undetectable, uncivilized persons. That's very different. Alright, others try to reconcile the traditional perspective on Jinn with modern sciences. Fethullah Gulen, leader of Hizmet movement, had put forward the idea that Jinn may be the cause of schizophrenia and cancer. I'm getting a really weird sense of deja vu right now, looking at this picture of teeth. Don't know why. I think I've done this before. I don't know. Maybe I haven't. Where did I go? I don't know where I went now. Alright, leader of, the movement, the Hizmet movement. So he had put forth the idea that Jinn may be the cause of schizophrenia and cancer, and that the Quranic references to Jinn on smokeless fire could, for that matter, mean energy. Others, again, refuse connections between illness and Jinn. I would be that one to refuse. But still believe in their existence due to their occurrences in the Quran. Alright. We have so much. Jinn in form of storms and shadows. Anthropomorphic manifestation. Witchcraft and magical literature. So, wow, we have a lot. 7 kings of the Jinn are traditionally associated with the days of the week. Sunday is Al-Mudib. Monday, Mura, Al-Bayad, Abu Al-Harith. Tuesday, Abu Mariz, Al-Amar. Wednesday, Bargain, Abu Al-Abjayib. Thursday, Shamhurish, Al-Tayyar. Friday, Abu Hassan, Zubah Al-Abaid. So that's today. Saturday, Abu Nu Mainam. Okay, so I don't understand that. So, alright, witchcraft, which is also used to mean magic wizardry, is often associated with Jinn and Afraid. Around the Middle East, therefore, a sorcerer may summon a Jinn and force him to perform orders. Summoned Jinn may be sent to the chosen victim to cause demonic possession. Such summonings were done by invocation, by the aid of talismans, or by satisfying the Jinn. Thus, to make a contact, Jinn are regarded as assistants of soothsayers. Soothsayers reveal information from the past and present. Okay, that would be a medium. Maybe I can do this. Huh. Okay, the Jinn can be a source of this information because their lifespans exceed those of humans. Alright, so the Testament of Solomon, another good book. A collection of late 14th or early 15th century magico-medical manuscripts from Ocana, Spain, describes a different set of 72 Jinn, termed Talig, again under Fuctus, blaming them for various ailments. According to these manuscripts, each Genie was brought before King Solomon in order to divulge their corruption with residence, while the Jinn king Fictush, I think, gave Solomon a recipe for curing the ailments associated with each Genie as they confessed their transgressions. Wow, we have a lot. In popular culture, we have I Dream of Genie, boom, the first one. American Gods, Thief of Baghdad, and in the TV series Supernatural. And those episodes for Supernatural, because I know you guys are like that. You guys like this. Mentioned in 8 episodes. 2.20, What Is and What Should Never Be. 6.01, Exile on Main Street. 6.10, Caged Heart. 7.22, There Will Be Blood. 8.20, Pac-Man, Fever. 9.20, Bloodlines. 13.6, Scooby Natural. And 14.05, Nightmare Logic. Okay, so we have a lot going on with the Jinn. So, wow, that's crazy. I mean, how to work with them. So let's see. Pleasing them is what she mentioned yesterday in yesterday's session. Making them happy. I don't remember much from yesterday's session. Sorry. But yes, I think that's very odd. Very odd that they can actually reproduce with humans, but then there's the flip side of the coin. they can actually create families. And so are they good? Are they evil? Inherently they're not either. They're neutral. So I guess it's up to what humans perceive them to be. It's cold. So, I don't know. I guess it's just all in our perspective. All in the human perspective. How we perceive nature. How we perceive all of this. And I guess we have to have a good, I don't know, I guess our right lobe, left lobe, back lobe, all of this, all of the lobes must be working together, which they don't, to decipher whether or not they are good or bad. Wow, that was a little too deep for me. Now I wonder. I'm thinking more of nature spirits. Lots of nature spirits. I don't know if Lily, the doll, my haunted doll right here, I don't know if she would have a Jinn in her. A female? I don't know. Now I'm curious. So, it's going to be book finding, reading, searching, researching, learning, studying on the Jinn. I'm very, very excited about that. So I guess I have to go back and read the Key of Solomon again. Such a boring read. No, actually it's not. It's really good. You guys will like it. Alright guys, so that is all about the Jinn, which is incredibly amazing. I'm very happy about that. What else? Went over the full moon ritual, which is when I said next Wednesday, Witchy Wednesday. So, and I gave you guys my run through of my overview, or my outline of my ritual, and it's also on Patreon, and it's also on my public page, and it's also on my private page, it's also on my Google+, it's also on my Pinterest. I think that's it. Oh, it's also on Twitter too. I don't know how to post stuff to Instagram yet, but when I do, it'll be on Instagram as well. Alright guys, so whoever said fuck yes to the full moon ritual, alright, let's get it going. Well, we have a couple days to prepare, so I'm gonna go get a candle, or 5 or 30. So, alright guys, I hope you enjoy. I hope you guys can start a good discussion with this, because I'm curious. I will be on here tonight, probably about 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I want to discuss this with the Djinn, or Jinn, or Genie, or the 1,000 other names that they have. So, nature spirits, whatever. I really want to discuss this with you guys. So, I will hopefully see you guys tonight at 8:30. Down below, set your reminder, the bell button, ding, set that reminder. So, I love you all very much. All the way from Venus. And all the way back down again. So, alright guys, I will see you all tonight at 8:30. I'm excited, very excited, and I love you all.